You gotta ask the question, Noah.
I don't want to be. Bye.
I'm so confused. Noah asked, why am I taking his jobs? Because I'm Hispanic. And I said, because I need to support my family. Oh.
Dude,
Screw America.
Man, in a moment of silence, like that's there for a reason, dude. Screw the talk.
Let the Hispanics unite.
I would never talk.
August.
United States of America.
Some woman. Sorry. What did you say?
So I can
This game is
turn
so
around
much
and
better.
not make my leg go to sleep.
Madden.
I don't know, my friend said that.
So much better than Madden.
Okay, so yeah, so Noah asked, why am I taking all his
No, why are you
jobs?
taking
Because
my
I'm
jobs?
Hispanic. And I said, because I need to support my family too. And then he was
We
like,
gotta make this
yeah.
10 minutes long so I can get YouTube ad revenue.
I
Dude, this is
told
gonna be
him
like the
that's why I don't get what Trump's trying to do. Because
And then there's Taylor walking in the room. Hello, Taylor.
What happened to your hair?
I cut it off because I messed up my hair. And you're gonna be on YouTube now.
You have to show your head.
I went to consumer info.
Dude, I don't.
Oh boy, I bet it was terrible.
What time are you at?
Up,
It was terrible, right?
No, it was really good.
Uh-huh.
And you may think I'm lying, but I'm coming through.
Timmy.
Well, see, I kind of gotta make it 10 minutes long so I can get YouTube ad revenue. So I'm pretty much just gonna record the first 10 minutes of class for YouTube and get ad revenue. That doesn't matter. I still get paid for ads. Hey, Miss Smith. You're on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a 10-minute long video so I get ad revenue on YouTube.
Nobody's gonna watch the video.
It doesn't matter. I'll still get 15 cents if I watch my own video.
You're gonna get 15 cents a month. Whoa.
Pretty much.
Okay, what time are you
There's a
at?
minimum payout.
2 minutes and 11 seconds.
Well, I want the last one to be let the Hispanics unite.
Please don't ask me right now, but at the end of class, I'll let you know.
You can't see anything.
It's because I'm dark?
No, you look.
Is this a racist thing?
Not everybody,
Yes,
but all in
it is.
all, they were phenomenal.
He's
Hey,
right.
it's Taylor.
I'm very impressed with almost, I mean, most
It's
of
Taylor.
them were great.
Taylor.
So I'll let you know where you can check your grade right now, but I'm gonna go.
It's zoomed in so close on your face, like it's just on your eye.
My vagina just vibrated.
What the fuck?
Mine did too.
My vagina vibrates.
Real mod, Peapod, Buff Prod, Hot
Why are you
Rod.
playing that game?
This is way better than mine.
NBA is dropping.
Dude, NBA is
Live stream
The
championship.
NBA is boring. Look
Dude.
how boring the NBA is.
Dude,
He's really gonna make a 2-minute video.
I'm ready for this.
I like how like he's gonna.
Everybody
make,
needs to go
like,
subscribe to my channel.
$2. I'm pretty sure I false reported.
Yeah, I get 50% of this. I say contract 50%.
What?
Some videos they
YouTube
get.
videos.
Yeah, and I.
They never
get-
banned me. They never age restricted anything because they review those. And
What did
Oh
you
yeah, I know, but if
Like
enough
music
people do it,
videos
they
and stuff.
Can I get 10%?
Taking some notes and
Of $2, 20 cents. You want 20 cents?
that you're never
Tomorrow
gonna get.
is going to be a group poster type thing. I think you'll like it because it's. I feel like I need to do like.
No, I'm just recording class for ad revenue on YouTube.
He's trying to get $2, and I get 20 cents of that.
The man's got to work, right? Tomorrow we're doing a poster thing on dreams. So.
You know, I'm not sponsored by Coke.
What it kind of be is I was gonna have you guys do like a dream map, your own dreams, and then I thought about it. I was like, would it be cool to see all of your dreams intercombined? So you're gonna kind of make a map of all of your dreams, and then make a story of it.
Like all of the ones
So
you
the crazier,
remember.
the better.
Cause I have like hundreds of them.
One time I had a dream that if you ate the dinosaur egg oatmeal, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You would go to the time of the
I can't
dinosaurs.
share any of mine.
They
All
all
of mine
like
are
dirty.
horrible.
All of mine are very trippy and like drug
Of course they
induced.
are.
Like I wanna like I have tons like cause I write them down.
That's good.
So I can find some, but it'll take a while. Cause mine are like.
But it'll be fun to see like your dreams mixed with other people's, and if you can create a story out of all of them, it's gonna be really kind of out there.
My most memorable dream was the dream that I had about me eating the dinosaur egg oatmeal and the toothpaste
All right, you guys should get out some paper.
And then I hit the camera.
We are taking notes.
Hey, look, it's Ray. Look, it's Ray.
I have had multiple dreams where I'm just on fire, like just
Yeah.
sitting there casually.
Those are the worst.
Yeah. Like,
Hey, August.
I have a lot of dreams that there's a giant spider in my yard.
I'm gonna get age restricted for that now. And I won't get any ad revenue monies.
Get a lot of views and I don't know, make it a porn.
it's like, yeah.
Do you want to make it a porn? Okay. It's officially a porno.
All right, back to reality. Let's go. Get started.
Things just happen.
You don't have to write any of this down. You need to title this though consciousness. This chapter is about consciousness, about sleep. Okay?
I'm pretty
About-
much
yes,
gonna
it's
title
about
this
sleep,
video
it's
The
about
Life of
meditation, it's about hypnosis, it's about daydreaming, it's about sleepwalking, sleep talking. So we can have a lot of conversation. We're gonna do hypnosis next week. But what I want you guys to, I put it up there just so you have the word. But there are different levels of consciousness, more than maybe you even realize. How many of you guys daydream?
I do, all the time.
Did you guys know that's actually in the first level of sleep?
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Your brain activity, that camera's gonna be crazy. But your brain activity when you daydream is the same as when you are in the first stage of sleep, which is pretty cool. How many of you guys sleep walk or did as a child? How many of you guys sleep talk?
I do. Carl definitely does.
That'd be awesome, dude.
It's super, it's common. You can take
Hey, Cody.
Yeah, that was.
I want to be famous.
Alright, there are, this is the other slide just to show you.
White girl bullies Puerto Rican.
Waking consciousness.
Okay, this is really interesting. I think it's interesting. These are forms of altered consciousness. So conscious being that you're awake, you are aware. That is waking conscious. Look at all these though. Daydreaming is a different form of consciousness. Sleep, obviously. Dreaming, hallucinations, an orgasm actually. Food or oxygen starvation. I mean, that's interesting. That is. Sensory deprivation. Hypnosis and meditation. Those are all different forms of consciousness.
So,
We also talk about drugs in this chapter.
oh boy. So the sex is a different form of consciousness?
Not sex.
The end result of it, yes.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about the levels of sleep. I want to make sure there's. Okay. I love sleep too. You need to know this. Your sleep cycle is every 90 minutes. You go through an entire sleep cycle every 90 minutes. This has a huge effect on your wakefulness during the day and also your mood during the day. If you wake up in certain stages of sleep, you are going to feel more tired. That's why, have you ever slept like 16 hours, like forever, and you wake up and you're still groggy?
Yeah.
You were probably in a deep level of sleep, and so you're going to wake up groggy. Have you ever stayed up all night with friends or whatever you're doing, and you get 2 hours of sleep and you wake up and you're like, you're ready to go? Okay? You probably woke up in what's called REM, or a light sleep, and so you feel awake. That's why when you nap, it is almost better to get a 15-minute nap or a 90-minute nap. If you nap for 45 minutes, if you are really tired and you go into those deep levels of sleep and you wake up from that nap and you're ticked off at the world, it's probably because you were in a deep level of sleep. So we're going to talk about these. Alert and alert. This is is what your brain activity looks like. It's low amplitude. Amplitude is height. And it's going to be very, 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 very fast. So your brain activity is going. So right now, if I took a picture of your brain activity, that's what it would look like. You are awake. You are alert. Especially in conversation. Now, those of you kind of sitting back and at the end of this lecture, you'll probably be in another state because you get in that relaxed state. So beta waves. You don't really need to know the 15 to 30 CPS. I don't do measurements.
You know what's going to be great about me videotaping this? I can rewatch it later and rewatch the lecture.
Yeah, I had a friend in college. She was the president of law school at UT. She went to class. She just tape recorded everything, went on Facebook, Instagram, did whatever. Then she went home and listened to them. That's how she was the president of law school. Really smart. Twilight.
Oh.
Oh, that movie's terrible.
I got this presentation from someone else. I didn't make it, so I'm not going to do it. But yeah,
Vampires are people too, Miss Smith.
they are.
Back in my day,
I'm
vampires.
on Team Edwards, so it's okay.
Back in my day, vampires.
You know why I was
They didn't
I
sparkle.
was Edward, then I couldn't get the
Can't support anybody who supports me.
Yeah, back when I was 9.
I'm on Team Van Helsing. Kill them both. They don't
They did not
deserve.
sparkle.
You're in your day right now. There's no Back when you were younger.
The great quotes from August.
Third old man,
The great quotes from August. She's so random.
When an individual closes his or her eyes but remains awake, his brain activity slows down to a large amplitude and slow regular alpha waves. So you need to know beta waves when you're awake. You are going to be responsible for that. Beta waves when you're awake, alpha waves when you're in twilight. Somebody that is meditating is also in this stage.
I thought meditation wasn't a real thing.
Well, then you were
Meditation
like
was
horribly
not a real
wrong.
thing.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
told.
Lord, yes, it
I was
is.
told that
Yeah.
meditation was just like a. What's that thing where you think something's real hard enough and then it happens?
No, it's not placebo. Like they've done scientific studies. Tibetan monks, like their brain is made up completely different from
Well,
ours.
that and also
Changes.
you can actually be more rested from meditation than you will from taking a nap.
I've tried that.
That's weird.
Meditation's cool.
I just can't sit that still for that long.
It's
You don't have to do it long. You can do it 10 minutes. All right. Huh? Light, just twilight, all that means is when you're still awake but you close your eyes and it's beta waves. Okay, stages 1 and 2. This is very light sleep. And you see how the waves start to get different.
Isn't that like when you pass out in class?
Yes. This is where you are daydreaming. Very, very light sleep. So those of you who have daydreamed in class, I mean, to an extreme extent. I mean, sometimes you think about, oh, what am I doing after school today or something like that. But if you are out in your world and not here mentally, then you're probably in one of these stages.
I'm constantly out in my world.
The other thing that's interesting about this is you see these shocks of activity. They're called sleep spindles. How many of you guys have been falling asleep and all of a sudden you jerk? I hate that more than anything. Okay, if you take NyQuil or if you take like a sleep aid, that happens more frequently. What that is your body's way of protecting yourself. So back evolutionary wise or evolutionary speaking, the only time that man was completely vulnerable was when man was asleep. So because he's out in the forest, in the jungle, wherever he's at, and so he had to protect himself. Sleep is actually our most vulnerable state. Therefore, our body wants to keep us awake. So those sleep spindles are a shock of your nervous system trying to keep you awake.
Like when you think you're, like when you feel like you trip and you just wake up.
And you're falling and you wake up, that's that. So you're in light sleep and you're trying to go to sleep, but your body's trying to protect you. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question. Why
All the
is
ad
it when you're
revenue.
sleeping and
I'm gonna
your
videotape this
mind
whole
is going
class.
to die, you wake up before you have to sleep?
I'm gonna get so many
I don't know the
subscribers.
answer to that. Like when you're dreaming about
Yeah, when
that.
you're dreaming about dying, before you actually die, most of the time you'll snap away.
Well, we're going to talk about dreams like a little bit tomorrow and next week. And there's a lot of different theories on why you dream. So we'll have to look at those theories, then you can determine that. Sleep, we're gonna get to that.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
because
sleep paralysis is cool too.
I woke up from being in my room, like I'd wake up and my
I literally.
Like you're almost clairvoyant, you could like see it happening. Well, we're gonna talk about this. I'll say it now so you, when you go through these stages, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. When you get to 4, you come back. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you probably came back and you were in light sleep where you're more aware of what's going on. Stages 3 and 4, they are slow. You are in deep sleep. I think of this is like when I think of sleep. I love to sleep too. I can sleep. I'm like the nap queen. Naps should be a part of everybody's life, every day. Your brain activity really, really slows down. And so those are what the waves look like, and these are called delta waves. Yeah.
So, when you, crap, I forgot what I was gonna say.
When you
I totally forgot what I was gonna say, I'm sorry.
When you forget what you're going to say, you might be dangerous.
might be one.
Danger.
I'm disappointed now.
That's what good night.
It was important. Oh, isn't it like softer sounds make you wake up easier? Like, when you hear a softer sound, like, instead of like an alarm clock going off all loud and annoying, like something like a ringtone that's all twinkly and stuff, doesn't that make you wake up easier?
Along with that, one, what stage of sleep you're in. Number two, it's what you're used to around you. So if you're used to going to the TV, to bed with the TV or with music or something, that is not going to wake you up. But something that you are not, it's not familiar to you, that will immediately wake you up. Girls, when you have children, if you are a heavy sleeper, and I'll get you in a second. When you're heavy, if you're like, how am I ever going to wake up to a baby? I can sleep through a thunderstorm. That is it is in your DNA that when that baby cries, you are going to immediately wake up. That should never be a worry. And guys, you too, not as much as a mother, but you are going to instinctually hear your baby cry over anything else. So I know that some people, when they get a little bit older, they worry about that, but it's never going to happen. Yeah.
I read somewhere that like listening to a really loud sound, like an alarm clock, to like help you wake up, actually is not really good for you. I forgot what it said about it. I just think like it disrupts you somehow. Like,
It does. Our bodies work on, and I'm going to get to it, on circadian rhythms. Okay, you guys can start writing this down. This is a longer one. And so this is why we as adults really want you teenagers to go to sleep earlier, because it's much healthier for you, for your body to wake up on its own. So if you know that you need about 10 hours of sleep a night, and you know that you got to get up at 6:30, you really should try and plan to get those 6 hours. So that would be 6, 4, that'd be like 9 o'clock, 9:30.
I would have to go to sleep at like 7 p.m. if I wanted to get the right amount of sleep.
Yeah, well, so, I mean, but that's something to think about. So we set alarms but we jolt our rhythms, okay? And also, this is the reading we're gonna do today. You know, I'm a firm believer, I don't think high school should start as early as it does. I think that it actually should start later because of where you guys are hormonally, physically, all that kind of stuff. You need more sleep than other people. Children don't need as much sleep. I don't know why they need to start elementary school way early. You guys need to be later. But the way our society is, jobs, sports, all that kind of stuff, they don't want us to be here till 7 o'clock at night. But you guys function better from like 10 to 7. That's where you guys function at your peak. The older you get, I'm still kind of in your generation sleep-wise, but older people don't need as much sleep. They can go to bed at 11 and wake up at 4, and they're good for the day. They don't need it. So we go through stages. REM is my favorite part. I think it's the most interesting. So you go all the way through stage 4, and you come back, and once you go back to stage 1, your light asleep, you hit REM. Let me get to this. You hit REM. This is where your body gets paralyzed. Okay? Your body is paralyzed for a brief moment, and your eyes do this. They go back and forth, or they I don't know what word I'm thinking of. They shake. Okay? This is REM sleep. It's called rapid eye movement. this is the level of sleep you need to feel wakeful during the next day. The less REM sleep you get, the more tired you're going to be the next day. The cool thing about REM is you actually go through more REM cycles later in your sleep. So that's why you need about 8 hours of sleep, because that 6 to 8 hours, you're going through REM a lot. So you go from stage 1 to 4 throughout the whole thing, but the stages get shorter and shorter, and so you hit REM a lot more. Kyler, and then you.
So, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
Okay, Taylor.
I read somewhere like, also when you're in REM sleep, if your eyes are like a certain way, like you'll wake up and you won't remember your dreams, but if they're in another way, that you will. It's not true.
I remember.
Okay, what?
Why, if that's the case, so we function best from 10 to 7, then why do I keep always passing out in my 4th block?
Huh? Because we're starting earlier.
Well, in my 4th block, I'm sitting there about to pass out like every day.
Because you wake
You
have
wake
woken
up too
a lot
early.
earlier, so
Oh.
you're dead by then.
I'm not only that, like not counting
I didn't put attendance.
I'm recording.
One thing about lucid dreaming is
21.
they did the study that they did that,
No, I'm just
because
gonna, I'm
originally
gonna film
like
the
in
whole
the
class
70s
and
it
put it on
wasn't really
YouTube.
believed by most psychologists.
Because then I'll get like 50 ads.
And the study that they did to try to prove it was they had a theory that in your dream, the way that you look, like when you look around, since that part of your body isn't paralyzed, it'll actually move the way that you look. So they put a girl to sleep and gave her, before she went to bed, they gave her a signal to move her eyes, like look up, down, and like left and right, to signal to the people that she was in a lucid dream. And they waited and they waited, and she went through a couple stages of REM sleep and nothing happened. And one time, like they had this thing like that kind of looked like that was reading where her eyes were going, and in the middle of it, it just started going up and down, like not like randomly, but like in the way that it would if she was doing the eye signal.
That's cool. With REM, when you're talking about dreams, everyone dreams. Like Jacob said, he doesn't remember any of his dreams. You dream every single night. It just depends. Some people remember them more, some people don't. And when we talk about these dream theories, you guys can kind of see which one you think is most accurate. There are different ones. And so you can kind of see, maybe that's why I don't remember, or maybe that's why I always remember. The other thing about REM sleep that I think is fascinating, but guys, that may solve a lot of problems, or solve a lot maybe questions. When you're in REM, you are at sexual climax. Okay, girls too. You don't know it because you're sleeping, but that's why guys wake up with a morning boner. I don't know how else to say it. Morning wood, we call it. If you wake up in this stage, you will be erect. So that means that you have woken up in that sleep, and it will happen the rest of your life, guys, even when you're older. If you don't wake up with that, that means you're not in REM sleep. Girls, it's the same way. Wet dreams are the same way. You are in REM sleep, that is what's happening. So it's completely not to your, it's nothing weird or just because your hormones are surging, that's gonna happen the rest of your life. So I think it's fascinating because you don't realize it when you're asleep. You just don't know. Within that, what I was getting at, within 90-minute cycles, stage 4 gets smaller and REM gets longer. So your beginning hours of sleep are not as crucial as your end hours of sleep. That's why I'm saying if you go to sleep at 10 o'clock at night, those sleep hours from 3 to 6 or 4 to 6, those are crucial for you to feel awake. So Kyler, when you said I'm exhausted at 4 p.m., 4 o'clock or 4 o'clock, if you go to sleep at midnight or 1 and you're waking up 6, you're not getting as much REM. You're still in that part of your sleep where your 3rd and 4th stages of sleep are still longer. Now, if you got to sleep till 10, I would put a lot of money that you'd feel like a different person. Okay? So just something to think about. I know with your lifestyle right now, 1, it's not the cool thing to go to bed early. And number 2, yeah, I go way early. But also like sports activities, things that go on with your friends socially, a lot of you stay up later. It's just something to think about why you feel like crumb the next day.
This is so weird. We were talking about this at work, like, during last night.
Yeah. So why do we sleep? Why is it so important? We spend 1/3 of our lives sleeping. I probably spend like about half. So if an individual remains awake for several days, they deteriorate in terms of immune function, concentration, and accidents. This is huge when it comes to college and post-college work. You see a doctor there. They're on 12-hour, 24-hour, 40-hour shifts. It's dangerous. I don't know why the medical field does it. I would not want a doctor performing on me after being on call or on for 48 hours. They're just not at their peak. They can't help it. College students, when you guys go to college or whatever you do, staying up all night studying, if you go into an engineering program, architecture, they're the two most highly prone to mono or some more autoimmune disease that you can catch in college because they're up for so long. And I promise you, it's so funny. You might be completely healthy, like your first semester of college, but you will get a cold the week of finals. It's just like, it happens every time because you're staying up studying for longer than normal. It's just crazy. What does sleep deprivation do to you? I didn't make you write these down because I think it's kind of a duh that you could recognize them. Fatigue, and it can cause death if you stayed up for days and days and days and days. Impaired concentration, I'm sure you guys have felt that. Emotional irritability, you're just snappy. Depressed immune system, which means that you can get sick easy, and you have greater vulnerability. Remember, sleep. Our bodies as evolutionary cavemen, we didn't want to sleep because we're vulnerable, but we have developed a pattern, a rhythm in our human, as animals, that we need sleep to stay alive. So, because it doesn't make us vulnerable. This chart is about the frequency of accidents that you have sleep deprived. So look at the number. I mean, that's more than double. Jeff McMurray, you guys know Mr. McMurray, awesome guy. We do a prayer before school each year. And a lot of us, that believe we do a prayer. And a lot of us share stuff that's going on with our lives because you guys don't see us as we're just the faculty, but we're really like a family here. Well, Jeff told us about over the summer, he fell asleep at the wheel and he actually crossed over an entire highway and had an accident with all of his kids in the car and his wife. And he said it was the most devastating thing because obviously Mr. McMurray doesn't do drugs, he doesn't drink, he doesn't do anything like that. He was just sleep deprived. And the person was okay, but I mean, he could have been manslaughter. He would have killed somebody, or someone could have killed his family.
And my ex fell asleep like on the way to school because he hadn't slept for a long time, and when like he didn't think about it, I was like, what I did, he was like an evil like that because he ran into like a traffic.
Yeah, it happens. They say sleep. It's like being drunk. That's the correlation, not the correlation. That's the comparison. Drunk driving and sleep deprived driving. The symptoms are the same. You're swerving. You speed up, slow down. You don't really know what's going on. So it's not that different, which is scary because I think that's scary. When you're sleep deprived, you lose out on two types of sleep: REM and non-REM. Typically, when you have a chance to fall asleep after sleep deprivation, you have a tendency to get more REM sleep than you would normally get. This is your body's way of trying to catch up. This is true. However, have you guys ever had like a long night of, partying, staying up, whatever, and so you sleep the whole next day, and maybe the next day after that, and you still feel tired? It takes your body almost a week to get back from sleep deprivation.
Well, that sucks.
So if you had a big weekend, or you playing video games, or whatever it is, sleep deprivation one weekend, it's going to take you to the next weekend to actually feel fully functioning again.
Is that why you get a hangover?
People get sleep deprived again.
What, babe?
In which case, most people get sleep deprived again.
Exactly.
Oh, I
And
think
so
she
they
said
start feeling
partying.
good on Friday, and they're like, woo, Friday, all right, I can do it again. And then Monday comes around, and it's like they're slugging through until Thursday, and then they do it all over again. Yeah. I mean, it's normal. It's our society. Okay, you do just what's in blue. So these are the theories of why we have sleep. Okay? Sleep protects. Sleeping in the darkness when predators loomed about kept our ancestors out of harm's way. That's one reason we like darkness. That's just one of them. The other reason is because of our circadian rhythm.
Then why are some people afraid of the dark?
Afraid of the dark? That's nothing to do with sleep. That's just what they've been, something they've seen or experienced, stuff like that.
Because there's werewolves, man.
Yeah, because the boogeyman could do that. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get nervous, even as an adult, when I'm home by myself. Like, oh, I get so scared. Because people are crazy.
My heart races so I get like, I'm like, I'm watching her
Like to
go.
imagine watching the crossbow when she's so little.
Yeah.
She has a huge crossbow just walking up under her house.
I have a taser by my bed.
The first time,
I don't want to shoot a gun and think about like a taser, like a real
I have like a flashlight.
life thing.
the first time my parents left me home alone, I was taking a shower, so I took a baseball bat into the shower with me because I'd just seen Psycho, and I was scared to death that somebody was gonna bust in my house and stab me to death in the shower.
No, I don't get it. It sounds terrible. It's very, I'm being kind of, not racist, I'm being, I guess, stereotyping, but we live in Spearable, and like the area we live in, you know, there's a lot of pills and drugs and all that stuff.
The good elbows.
Like, huh?
The good elbows.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, my aunt-in-law, she's gotten broken into like 3 times. And she doesn't live next to us, but she lives like 2 minutes down the road, 5 minutes down the road. And it's like, it can happen. And so I think like people watch your activity and they know kind of our schedule, you know, because Nate's usually gone from like 6 to 9 at night or 6 to 10 at night. He does jujitsu. And
Same.
so it's just weird. I'm not. Jujitsu is a martial art.
I take jujitsu. Brazilian jiu-jitsu is the same thing as normal jiu-jitsu. It's just a little more towards defensive. Yes. Brazilian jiu-jitsu is more about defense.
My procrastinator, folks. This right here, this is why you should never pull all-nighters at college. They do not work. You should study and then you should sleep. You need sleep to remember. You need sleep for your memory. And then also for your growth. You actually grow in your sleep. So you don't grow during the day, you grow when you sleep. Those are
August.
Yeah, August has been trying to kill
I kick for you. Okay, so this is what Taylor was talking about when to wake up and rhythms and stuff. So circadian rhythms are physical, mental, and behavioral changes that follow roughly a 24-hour cycle, responding primarily to light and darkness in an organism's environment. So we are trained from evolutionary times to sleep when it's dark, again for protection, to be up when it's light. That's the way our body functions. The problem is, you know, society doesn't work that way. Especially your age and when you get a little bit older, you know, life starts at 10 o'clock at night.
Pretty much.
Ends at 5 o'clock in the morning when you're supposed to be asleep. So your circadian rhythms are all off. This clock is controlled in your hypothalamus. It's called your suprachiasmatic nucleus. But you can pronounce it SCA. But if you know it's your hypothalamus, I'm good with that. This is why melatonin is a hormone, and this helps to regulate your body. It puts your hypothalamus to sleep. So if you have trouble sleeping, that is a really safe way to help you sleep. It's non-addictive. It's all natural. I wouldn't recommend Ambien or Lunesta or anything like that, because some people drive on Ambien and they don't remember the next day. Yeah, seriously.
There are people who take more Ambien in their sleep and they'll wake up like, and their bottle will be empty, or like it'll be spilled on the floor and they won't know what happened.
Yeah, my father-in-law, he can't take it. He's a sleep eater when he takes Ambien. Like Nate said he would come home and it would look like a drunk person walked in. It was like the whole counter of the kitchen was just full of food and he would just eat. And he gained like 30 pounds, I think. And he only ate at night, but he was taking in. Yeah, it is scary. So you wouldn't know. You can't control it.
That's one way to bring it up.
Well, yeah, that's what's weird about it. So another friend of ours at church, she took it one night and she went out and had, she had like a super late dinner with a friend and she came back and she didn't remember. Like to like Denny's or something.
It's just for you, is that medicine just for you?
That's one way to, bring it up.
Yeah. Huh? Sleepwalk only occurs, I think we're in only occurs, stages 3 and 4.
So are you going to the party this weekend?
You have a different party every week.
I do.
And you're always like, man, I can't go to it.
No.
I'm like, dude, I can go.
No, Elijah's. I'm going this weekend because I'm getting paid $50. Because instead of getting my paycheck on Monday, I talked to my boss and he was like, I guess I'll give it to you tomorrow. So I'm getting my paycheck tonight.
So this is like a clock, right? So what this is showing us, these are all like Charles Darwin, Ben Franklin. These are, you know, famous people that have changed history or changed society. This is when most of their activity was.
When they were 12?
They were night owls.
Oh, I thought that was an age clock.
So all of their big inventions
Fuck you,
or
August.
discoveries were always night owls.
What did you
That is
say?
so fascinating. This is so not me. This is like
No, I said fuck you, August.
I said, alright. I don't want this video to get out and I'm telling someone to F themselves.
on something
the P
balls
word.
at. What is it?
Hey, remember that one time?
No.